You built a monster. You built a monster. You built a monster. No breath, no heartbeat, just static remains. Hollow reflections, ghosts in the cold.
Well, good evening, everybody. It is great to be back. Welcome back to Trackside Broadcasting and welcome to season 12. Thank you very, very much for joining us this evening, viewers, drivers, everybody alike. We have got some fantastic action for you lined up this evening and the rest of this season. I'm Gaz. For anybody who doesn't know me, but you all should know me by now, and I will be one of your commentators this evening, and hopefully all season long, if everybody likes me enough. I will be bringing in my main man in the booth next to me in just a moment's time. But tonight we start off a brand new story, and we are doing all European this season. We are flying over to different parts of Europe to race on some of the best tracks that this continent has to offer. And I am so excited for it. There are some truly brilliant tracks tonight, this season. Race 1 of 8, though. We're in Belgium. And to start it all off, we are on a fantastic track. We are racing Spa. Before we get going, though, before we get down to trackside, I just want to say thank you to the Tanzo Racing Group for letting us bring you all of the action each and every week this season, and to our sponsors, Spectra Racing, Clark St. James Motorsport, and Murby Goes. But with all that said, we have not had any GT3 racing action in a little while now, and I need some GT3 racing in my life. I don't know about you guys at home, but I cannot do it on my own, as I said. So joining me tonight and each and every single week throughout the rest of this beautiful, beautiful European season, my co-host and good friend of mine, Mr. Jimmy Marshall. Hi, hello, guten Abend. Welcome to Belgium. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Great, Jimmy. That is great to hear. You're looking forward to season 12. We're starting back up again, mate. It's a good night. It's a good night to be on.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've seen the track list, and there are some incredible tracks around here. There's a lot of drivers in here, and yeah, should be really exciting.
Yeah, like I said, guys, we are doing all European this season. We had the best of British last in the UK, but we are spreading out. We are going all over Europe. And like I said, we are in Spa tonight. Now, I've said it a couple of times. Yes, it's all European, but Jimmy, we have another little change this season, don't we? We've had the pros, we've had the AMs, and we've got them here tonight. But we've got a new class joining us, haven't we? And that class, guys, is elite, and that will be the pinkish color that you'll see on the leaderboards when we get down to that. But Jimmy, I'm looking forward to seeing 3 classes in there. I don't know about you, but also, can you just quickly just explain it, just for everybody at home, what the difference is mainly between them all?
Yep. So, iRacing basically splits everyone up by I rating. It's a way of calculating kind of how how quick a driver you are to kind of dumb it down to its simplest form. So the AMs are basically 1500 I rating and below. The pros would be between 1500 and 3000 I rating, and then anything above 3000 I rating will be the elites.
Fantastic. So there you go. We have three classes for you guys this season. Remember, yellow is your AMs, blues are your pros, and the pinkish color, that will be your elites, just so you can spot them all out on track. But Jimmy, just before we head down to track and catch up with how everybody's doing in qualifying with just over 5 minutes gone and 10 minutes to go, do you want to just remind everybody how it works here in the Tanzo Racing Group?
Yep, absolutely. So the drivers are starting off with a 15-minute closed qualifying. So they'll be qualifying on their own, which is best for them because there's no distractions, no one else around, and they can put the best lap time down possible. Then we go into a brief 5-minute warm-up before we get underway for the 60-minute race. With 60% fuel on board, pit stops are a mandatory thing, and it'll add an interesting bit of strategy throughout the race. And we have open setups as well this season, so the drivers can tune their car to fit themselves as best as they possibly can to get the most out of it. And yeah, so it just allows everyone to perform their absolute best, adds a little bit of strategy with the pit stops, and yeah, we're 6 minutes into qualifying as we speak, so we'll go down
There you
and take a
go.
look at how everyone is getting on.
No, definitely, Jimmy. We'll just go down and check out what's going on there. There we go, guys. For everybody at home, you can see the colours now on screen. The pink is your elites, the blues are your pros, and the yellow are your AMs. Remember, Jimmy, we've got a fair few drivers joining this evening, a fair few new drivers as well. I've seen some new names crop up, and going to be real interesting. We've got some obviously returners from last season and the last few seasons, but with these new names in there, it's really going to mix it up just a little bit, I do believe.
Yeah, I mean, the qualifying times as well are incredibly close, as we can see out on the timing boards at the moment. And yeah, it's always nice to have a bit of a mix because it just makes things a bit more interesting because instead of people just fighting, all the AMs fighting with each other, pros fighting with each other, elites fighting with each other, mixing it up a little bit just kind of yeah, just I don't know, it just adds a bit of mind games into the into the race because you got to think about who you got to work with, who you don't, who you need to get past to overtake to get some more points and all that
Well,
lot.
I
Just
think
adds a nice bit of strategy to it.
it adds a nice bit of strategy, Jim, but I think it also breaks it down a little bit more for everybody as well with the extra class out there. They're all competing within their own classes. There's not so much of a difference maybe that we've seen in past seasons gone by. With adding that elite to it, it's going to make some brilliant racing all around. Like you said, strategy wise, is really going to come into play here. And with 60 minutes of racing ahead of us, it should be an absolute cracker. And I'm hoping to see some really, really good racing tonight. I don't know about you, but Spa, fantastic track as well to be at.
Oh, it's one of the best. It is one of the best. I mean, there's a reason why it's most race drivers like favorite tracks out there. It's the reason why it's one of the most popular race tracks of all time because it is just the best, and it's just so much fun.
There you go, Jimmy. I think you summed it up brilliant in there. It is one of the best tracks. I absolutely love it watching the Formula One there. And to be fair with you, Jimmy, it's one of those I'll go onto YouTube and I'll have a little search just for anything really that's driving around there because it is such a great track. And like I've said in previous races, in previous seasons, it really is a proper racing track that is going to give us exactly what I think we all have turned up here for tonight. The viewers at home and the guys out there in the cars. And by the way, if you're at home and you watch along, say hello. Let us know that you're here watching along. Let us know who you're rooting today as well. So we'll give it a nice little shout out, and we'll back your drivers as well for you. But no, Jimmy, there's nearly 10 minutes gone. We're just over 9 minutes into it. You can see the kind of class difference a little bit there. The elites are sitting at the top. The pros are kind of taking up that middle kind of area, and the AMs sitting down the bottom. I think you're going to see that in the racing as well. But the qualifying times are so close.
Yeah, it's going to make for a like, fascinating race for just how close everyone is together. I mean, yeah, there's mere like thousandths of a second. Look at Quinton Klumper to Otto Karas. There is a 2/1000th of a second between them. And then Raymond Van Zutphen with Sean Clark as well, 8/1000th of a second between them. There's like so many just incredibly close times out there. It's yeah, it's unbelievable at the moment. And we're 10 minutes into the 50 minutes of qualifying, so there's only time to get a couple more laps in, and we'll see how they all finish up.
Yeah, really interesting to see how these guys line up. Like I can see 21 out there at the moment on the leaderboard. I'm not quite sure of the exact number because we had a couple of late joiners to the practice to the qualifying session. So I'll look to confirm those starting numbers for you guys at home very soon. There you go, Jimmy. We have 25 cars out there tonight. It is gonna be a brilliant one. And just for confirmation, Jim, Harry Hartley Price, you cannot see a colour next to his name. He is actually classed as an elite. So he's pretty comfortable sitting up there with the rest of them at the moment.
Yeah, he's a quick fella, that Harry Hartley Price, as we saw last season. Just quickly in the YouTube chat, good evening to you as well, Marshmallow. Is there a safest driver award again this season? There is not one for this season, but we
Well,
do have some prize pools which we will talk about shortly.
yeah, Marshmallow knows exactly how it works. He's an avid viewer here with us at Trackside, and I think he loves himself a bit of racing. But no, we've definitely got something in store for the prizes this year, Marshmallow. So give us a few minutes, we'll get qualifying done and out of the way, and we shall let everybody at home know what is for grabs this season.
Yeah. We've
So,
currently got Michael Gray just quickly leading the way in the elites with a 2 minutes 15. Otto Karas currently leading the way in the pros, not too far off of that time, and Joseph Greathouse is leading the way in the AMs at the moment. So AMs yellow, pros blue, elites are that sort of pinkish purple colour.
I was speaking just at the start, Jimmy, about we've got a few new names joining us, and one right there at the top of the leaderboard for the AMs, Joseph Greathouse. Now he's doing great out there in qualifying, so we'll have to see how he does out in the race. But definitely holding his own coming into here with a few of these drivers who've been in here for a few seasons now and who do know how each other race. So seems to be pretty strong out there already, holding his own. Aaron Sparks is another one sitting in P2 in the AMs as well. Seems to be holding his own as well.
Yep, great house, great driver. Let's see how he gets on in qualifying and see if we can do the same in the race. And
But then Michael Gray as well, a new name for us. Overall P1 in the elites and P1 overall at the moment with a astonishing time, 2 minutes 15.3. Jimmy, that is really fast out there.
And just going down to the YouTube chat again, Elmer Van Beek is saying hello to everyone. Hello to you too, Elmer Van Beek. Let's go, have a good one, guys. Yep, good luck everyone out there on track. Peter Duke, all the best to all the drivers. Tanzo is a great series, and it really is great series, and a lot of great people in there. Peter Duke, why aren't you racing this time round with
Yeah.
Fend iRacing 1? Good luck everyone. Yeah, good luck to all the drivers out there with 2 minutes left to go of qualifying.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jim, I'm glad you read out that last one because I would have read that as Fendi Racing and I would have sounded utterly ridiculous. Suppose iRacing does make more sense, but I am actually being told it is Fendi Racing, so there
Oh,
you
so
go.
that's let's just have it with obviously a big iron racing. I just read iron racing together. Sorry, my
Yeah,
bad.
you
Bendy racing.
see the logo on the desktop every day. It just kind of ingrains itself into your memory when you see it like that, doesn't it?
It really
But no,
does.
but no, Jim, I just want to touch on the track as well while these guys just finish off their last couple laps real quick. Again, it is a fantastic track. It's quite a long one. It's 7 kilometers a lap. There's 19 corners on it. It's regularly used by GT3s, and there's a reason for it, isn't there?
Yeah, it just works so well with GT3. In fact, I think it works pretty much well with every car. Maybe not the incredibly slow ones, but even still, I think you could you'd have a lot of good battles around there. I think it just might be a little bit long for maybe like an MX-5 or something, but still, it works very well. And yeah, Peter Duke, golf is taken over for the summer. I absolutely do not
Oh,
blame you there. Do not blame you.
Peter Duke, drop me a message with your handicap. I know you know where I am in the channel. I like to play a bit of golf myself, and Elmer Van Beek as well. Can't compete this season, but he's looking forward to the next one. Well, Elmer, we look forward to having you back next season. Why are you not joining us this year, though? But Jimmy, 30 seconds left of qualifying. There's still a few cars out there trying to just hammer it down, I think, while they can. But I think it's pretty much set as it is, isn't it? Do you think?
Yeah, I'd say so. A lot of drivers driving into the pit lane now. I think most people have set the best lap times that they can, and yeah, we'll read out the starting order shortly during the little 5-minute break we have after qualifying, and then yeah, we'll be underway for a nice 60-minute long race.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it, Jim, and so glad to be back. Like, I know we're not away for too long. We were only live yesterday in another Tanzo series for the GR86s, but it's so good to be back in these GT3s. I absolutely love them. You know, it's what I got into first of all when I started watching along before we got anywhere near this part. But Jimmy, do you want to let everybody know how everybody has qualified?
Yep, so starting P1 overall and P1 in the elites, we have Michael Gray, followed by Craig Corish, Adam Wilson-Weir, Harry Hartley-Price, and then we have Quinton Clumpert, fifth place overall, but leading the pros at the moment, with Otto Karas right behind him. Then we have Tim Reed, then Joseph Greathouse leading the way in the AMs in 8th place. Then we have Jordan Butler, Matthew Massey, Aaron Sparks, Baz Cutting, Rob Smith, Phil Giles, Ryan Clark, Harry Seven, Raymond Van Zutphen, Christopher Haynes, Sean Clark, James Vardigans, Sam Dowes, James Moore, Casper Roost, Curtis MacArthur, and John Harley running at your 25 drivers on track this evening.
There you go, Jimmy. There are plenty of names out there, so there's going to be plenty of cars. Do you expect to see a lot of action tonight?
A lot of action, but also just looking at that livery that's Adam Wilson-Weir's rocking right there. That is
Oh,
a colourful livery.
wow.
You can
Now that
see
is a
that from his
statement
face.
colour. Say statement colour, statement colours. That is absolutely phenomenal. I tell you what, we will not miss Adam Wilson. We're out on track, will we, this season?
No, I'm getting inspiration for my my next livery.
Oh,
That I'm
this,
gonna
this
put on
is
my...
this is you all over. This is Jimmy. Anyway, we're not going to talk about livery just yet. We'll get around to the livery during the race when we've got a bit of time to really appreciate them as they fly around there. But Jimmy, as Marshmallow did mention earlier, there is going to be a prize pool this year, isn't there? And it is a nice one. So do you want to let everybody at home know what we've got for them this season?
Absolutely. So the prize pool is brought to you by Murby Goes and Clark St. James Motorsport and Spectra Racing. They've all generously donated a bit of cash to go towards that. So thank you to those guys. So we have a grand prize pool of £150 up for grabs, with £50 going to the elite winner, with also a trophy as well. The pro winner gets £50 as well with a trophy, and so does the AM. They also get £50 and a trophy. So yeah, nice little prize there. It's always nice to get a physical trophy as well. I think it
I'll
really kind
tell
of
you
just
what.
it makes it like a bit more.
I genuinely can't remember the last trophy that I was actually given. I think it was a participation trophy.
I was going to say, was it a participant?
It was like, well done for basically turning up and filling out the numbers there. That's pretty much how my athletic career went anyway.
Yeah. Participation trophy for the egg and spoon race in your old school.
Yeah, in the old primary school sports day races, was it? Oh, Jimmy, you're going back some time there, mate. You're going back some time there, making me remember some things I probably don't want to. I wasn't too good at that back then either, but I was a lot slimmer back then anyway. But anyway, moving on from my weight, we've got a couple of minutes left of this little warm-up, Jimmy. They're out and about together now, and then we're going back to our all classic. We're going to do a rolling start, aren't we?
Yeah, I do like a rolling start that just adds a bit of excitement and anticipation for the beginning of the race. And yeah, I was more of a sack race man. That's from Marshmallow 212. I remember the old sack races, the old potato sacks that used to go. You'd hop about in racing those. Oh, old school sports days were a good laugh. But no, we're at GT3s now, completely different.
No, I tell you one thing though, before we do move on. Look, we're in a 5-minute warm-up. There's not much going on out there. Obviously, these guys are just warming up. But real quick, do you remember, like, I don't know if it was just me, but do you remember like the parents' race as well? And I don't know if it was just me at that point, but I always got like utterly embarrassed if my like dad or mum ever stood up to do it. But then my dad absolutely whooped everybody every single year. So that was like my kind of celebrity moment when I'm in primary school. My dad was known as the fastest dad in the year, so you know there was always that. But anyway, so we are waffling way too much about sports days and times of past and history that shouldn't be spoken about. Jimmy, a minute left to go. 25 drivers, Spa, all European. Start of the season tonight. It should be an absolute cracker. Everything's lined up for it. As Phil Giles just goes off a little bit, mowing the lawn there, just catching those last little bits of long grass.
Yeah, just getting used to his car on the grass, get a bit of practice in case you go off. There's no harm in that, I'd say. But he's missing his rear spoiler there a little bit. Must have had a pretty nasty hit with the wall at some point.
Well, that is not what you want to happen during the warm up, is it?
Well, I mean, that's exactly when you want it to happen. If it was ever going to happen, is during the warm up. Then you,
Well,
then you sit
Jimmy,
back.
in that respect, yeah, it's good that it happened during the warm up, but it's just it kind of would throw my head a little bit if it was me lining up, especially with all the other cars out there tonight. We have gained quite a few this season.
Oh,
Oh,
there he goes.
there he goes, Phil
That's what happens
Giles.
when you don't have a spoiler.
Go on, Phil, get yourself back round, mate. We're at that 5 minute moment.
There you go.
So, Jimmy, just explain to everyone and remind everybody just how the rolling start is going to work for us.
Yep. So the drivers will. We'll find out in a second whether it's a full rolling start or if it's a half lap rolling start. But the drivers will basically start driving around at a set speed set by the safety car in front of them. That safety car will dip into the pit lane out of the way, and then as soon as the lead driver, which is Michael Gray, crosses that start finish line, then they are off. Yes, we are on a half lap rolling start. So yep, as soon as the safety car dips into that pit lane and the lead car goes across that start finish line, it is away they go for all the drivers. And yeah, we'll start rolling soon. The rolling start basically allows the drivers a little bit of time to do a bit of weaving, possibly drag the brakes depending on if that's your thing, and get a bit of heat into those tyres. Gives you a little bit more grip for the start of the race, just to give you a little bit more of an advantage.
Yeah, I just look like an absolute crazy man because on rolling starts, Jimmy, I'm just weaving all over the place like a child in a bumper car almost.
There's no harm in that if it goes well, but yeah, all drivers are out on grid at the moment, and as soon as those lights go out, that is when the rolling start will start.
Rolling start, round to the finish line, and away we go. And there you go. We have been treated this year to a couple of the driver pictures, Jimmy, which the viewers at home will see as well throughout the season and tonight's race.
Yeah, I do like that. Makes it a bit more personal, doesn't it? Gets you to know the drivers a little bit. But that is
Tell
a
you what,
hell of a shirt.
Michael Gray, hell of a shirt, but looks like he's having a great time on holiday. I think Michael Gray is going to be the one taking us over the line first and getting this race started, Jimmy.
Yep, and you can see them doing some very aggressive wiggling out there just to get a little bit of heat in their tyres. A few of the drivers further back not doing the same thing, but I guess for them it could be, you know what you're getting when the tyres are cold, you know what they're getting when they're warm, but if you're not sure, then just stick with the cold. As the safety car is going into the pit lane now, so as soon as Michael Gray crosses the line, that is when they are off. So let's get,
Any moment now as they come down towards the line.
yeah, keeping an eye, and they are off. Oh, maybe not.
No, and away they go. There you go, Jimmy, just on that second line there, is it?
There's the line. Is it the
There it
line?
is. No?
No, they're still going. Oh, maybe it's the pit lane on the other side. It might be. You know, Spa has has the pit lane on the.
Of course, what an
The
absolute rookie
GT3.
mistake there from us.
I forgot the different layouts of Spa. That is my bad. Off to a good start for us this season. So there we go. You can see the second set of pit boxes there. We'll call it across the line any second now. So they are off. There we go. Right up. It's going too wide through Radion and Eau Rouge. And yeah, that's going to be very sketchy at the start of the race. But these guys are professionals. They know what they are doing as they get a good start there. A lot of drivers going 2 by 2 as we go through the field, keeping it all calm, keeping it all collected, and they are off.
Tell you what, everybody seems to have made it up Rouge in one piece, Jimmy. And if I do say so myself, before we get going anymore, Eau Rouge has probably got to be one of my favourite corners in all of motor racing.
I mean, it is fair. It's like that sort of blind crest to it, flat out. Oh, we got one driver going around, 2 drivers going
We've got
around.
another one. Is that Raymond Van something going around there? No, it's not. Sorry, not Raymond. Another orange car.
Yeah, it's easily done on those cold tyres. We'll have to see what's going on. Phil Giles, though, having a rough time in the warm-up, as we saw. So let's see what happened with him here. Heavy on the brakes, gets the car slowed down.
Very heavy on the brakes.
And
They're
then
coming
does
together.
he get...
No.
Oh, yeah, he just gets tapped by the yellow car. And around he goes.
Inside of him. I tell you, it was very lucky. The car behind him, the orange and black car that you can see just off screen right now, came very, very close to hitting the rear end of him there. And that is Ryan Clark. So what happened to Ryan Clark afterwards? Because I think we saw him spin around as well, just after we caught Phil Giles there.
Oh, it's not the same yellow car as an incident with, is it? You can't be too... No, he just...
No, he's just lost it. He's just lost it. Got down on the gas a little bit too soon there.
I think he just got on the curb a little bit too heavy there, bounced a little bit. Oh, very squirrely on the way out there. You can see Michael Gray's car wobbling just that little bit on exit. I mean, cold tyres, it's bound to happen for a little bit of a spin.
No, absolutely, absolutely, Jimmy. We're just on board with Otto Karras here now, part of the pro category, a new driver with us this season. Oh,
Oh,
it seems
big
we've
hit
lost someone
into
else.
the wall. That's not Michael Gray, is it? At the front, was it? Who's hit that wall? I'll have to go back and take a look at in a second, but for the most part, I think everyone's been fairly well behaved. I think it's just mostly just those cold tires taking out a few people. They are tough to handle, these cars on cold tires. It was our lead driver, Michael Gray,
So
as he
let's find
gets on
out.
the
Yeah,
curb.
let's find out. Oh, he's just lost it.
Yeah, you can see the car was a bit squirrely early on with the coming out of that
Real,
exit there, and I
really,
guess
really hard into the wall as well there, Jim. Sorry.
yeah, it's gonna be rough for him. He's gonna have a heck of a recovery drive to do after this. But like we say every single time, if you're gonna make a mistake in a 60-minute race, make the mistake as early on as possible, and then it gives you plenty of time to catch back up with the rest of them. So right now we have Craig Corish though leading the way with half a second, well over half a second to Adam Wilson. Where Quinton Clumpert, oh no, sorry, Otto Karras is leading the way in the pros, and let's take a look at Aaron Sparks going on right now.
So what's happened here with Aaron Sparks? So he's tracked out for the corner. What goes on though now, Jimmy? Is the question.
So heavy braking. Goes a little bit wide into there. He might have over rotated and then.
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it?
Ooh, does he
Oh,
hit him? Oh, a little tap. I think he got a little bit of damage there from. Oh, both of them got a little bit of damage there. Those front bumpers on the Porsches are just made out of paper. Ooh,
oh,
that was
that
very,
was a
very
close one
scary
as
going on
well.
there.
Well, there you go. There you go. Sorry, Joseph Greathouse leading the way as well for the AMs, just before you got cut there, Jimmy. But no, that is not a very nice place to be losing it there, as you just saw as well. There can be a lot of incidents after the fact, which nearly was a lot worse than it should have than what actually happened there, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, losing it on a kind of a blind like entry on that corner and then having 20 odd cars driving at you, it's going to scare you a little bit. I have to say, as Adam Wilson Weir is almost a second behind Craig Corish here. He's got to put the pedal to the metal, as they say, and see if he can find some extra pace around these laps. And yeah, Tim Reed getting very close behind Otto Karas to get. If he can get past him, then he'll be back up with the rest of the elites there. Michael Gray, though, he's not too far behind. He's still within the pack, which is nice to see. I mean, ideal, not ideal for him, but like we said, 55 minutes to work his way through the field. I think he'll have that sorted, and it's only one race that you get, so he's got plenty of time over the rest of the season to make up for any potential lost points.
No, absolutely, Jim. It's like you said, there's still 55 minutes basically left to go in this race, and there's still pits to go as well. So literally anything can happen in these 60-minute races, and we've seen the positions change quite frequently over the past couple of seasons. We've seen last to first a fair few times. We've seen the whole order completely change up from just one incident out on track. Literally anything can happen. You really don't know who's going to be winning what until you're getting into those last few moments of the race.
Yeah, just quickly, Baz cutting with a slow down penalty. I think he might have cut the corner a little bit going up through ready on No Rouge. Um, it's easily done, but he's going to have to lose about a second or two in time, just slowing down for that one. Same with Aaron Sparks, gets a slow down penalty as well. So does Sean Clark as well. It is a tough corner in the GT3s because you want to take it flat, but sometimes you can end up cutting it a little bit too much too easily.
No, absolutely, Jimmy, absolutely. But no, going then from top to bottom, Jimmy. Let's let everybody know exactly where everybody is. So leading the way at the moment, like you just said, Craig Corish leading the way in P1 with Adam Wilson Weir in P2, Harry Hartley Price in P3, and those are your top podium spots in the elites at the moment. Otto Karras in P4, P1 out on track for the pros, leading the way with Tim Reed just behind him, another elite who will be looking to get past Otto fairly shortly to get up there into the mix with the rest of them. Quinton Clumpert just behind him, though, with Joseph Greathouse just behind Quinter, and Joseph is leading the way for the AMS just at the moment. Matt Massey sitting just behind him in P8 with Jordan Butler. We all know Jordan Butler, don't we, James? P9 he's in at the moment. Rob Smith in P10 with Baz Cutting in P11. Christopher Haynes sitting in P12, P2 for the AMS out on track with James Vardigan's taking up that last AMS spot in P3, P13 at the moment. Curtis MacArthur joining us this season, sitting in P14, with Sam Duez in P15. James Moore is just behind him in P16, with Harry 7 P17, Phil Giles 18th, Michael Gray 19th, with Casper Roos just behind him, Ryan Clark, Aaron Sparks, Sean Clark, and Raymond Van Zutphen. So we've got 24 cars on track still. We seem to have lost John Harley in all of that, Jim.
Yeah, I don't think he actually started the race, did John Harley? Because he don't think he ever set a time. But Raymond Van
Oh,
Zutphen
okay.
is our current last place out on track that did start, as Christopher Haynes gets a slowdown penalty for cutting that corner ever so slightly. But yeah, Raymond Van Zutphen was involved in that accident early on and had to pit for repairs. So he's a bit further behind, but yeah, we got back out there and he is racing underway. So well on him for getting back out there and giving it another go. As Michael Gray is now catching up to the back of Phil Giles there as he works his way through the field to try and catch back up with the rest of the elites.
New
And
name Michael Gray joining us this season, Jimmy, and he's got a little bit of work ahead of him to do. We know how good some of these drivers are sitting in between him and the rest of the elites, don't we?
yep, and one thing we should mention as well is the fast repair. So that is a big thing to mention. So each driver does have a fast repair. So if they have damage to their car, you can come into the pit lane and you can get it repaired instantly and then get back out driving as soon as you can. So if you're involved in a big crash, it is easy to get back out there. You're not stuck waiting 15, 20 minutes, etc. for repairs. So that is always quite handy for them as Michael Gray gets past Phil Giles. We also have Curtis MacArthur getting very close to Christopher Haynes as well, a bit further up the field. As a lot of drivers you can see on the interval, if the timings are in orange, that is when the drivers are within half a second. If the timing's yellow, it's within a second, and white is a second and above.
There you go. So we're seeing a lot of orange and yellows at the minute, Jim. So there's a lot of racing out there. We can see Curtis MacArthur there chasing down Christopher Haynes. Just a moment ago, we got Ryan Clark chasing down Casper Roos. Casper, good to see you this season again, my mate. Ryan just sitting on the back of him, just over a tenth at the moment, Jimmy, looking to get the move done. Is he going to get it done?
I mean, he's looking very, very close behind him.
There
Goes
you
dives
go.
to the inside and very tight to the apex there. He's going to struggle to keep a lot of speed through there, but he gets the move done, and yeah, he's underway.
There you go. Absolutely phenomenal overtake from Ryan Clark onto Casper Roos to put him up into P20 out on track at the moment. But yes, Jimmy, there is fighting all over the place. We're looking at Tim Reed here with Quinton Clumper and Otto Karras, the two pros in front of him as well. He'll be looking to get past those. Curtis MacArthur just about going for the move on Christopher Haynes. Hasn't got it done just at the moment, but showed his nose just a moment ago. Goes for it again, looks to get next to me side by side with him at the moment. Who will come out on top by the end of this straight?
Looks like Curtis just has a slight edge coming through there. He's going to have the advantage over these next few corners as the inside is the better line through there. As he takes to the outside though, and
Curtis is not giving up. Curtis is not giving up on Christopher Haynes and takes it inside of the next corner, Jimmy, and just gets in front of him, makes a move beautifully on Christopher. Is Christopher going to be able looking for the switchback though? At the moment, I don't think he is. Curtis seems to be pulling away. The pro has taken over the am in Christopher Haynes and gets the move done, puts himself up into P13 out on track. Brilliant couple of overtakes we've just seen there from a couple of the drivers, Jim.
yeah, I mean that was a really nice switchback from Curtis there to get the position, and yeah, he carried a lot
Didn't
of
it?
speed through that corner, and it worked
I
very
did
well.
not expect him to get that move done on the outside the way that he did, but absolutely flawlessly pulled that off.
Yeah, you can see the was that the Corvette there, just going taking out a lot of gravel through these corners, using as much of the track as he humanly can. Might be slowing him down a scooch, but he's still maintaining with the rest of that package. You've got a big
So look
gaggle
at
of
the
cars here. They're going to be hard to get through.
one of these weeks, I'm going to get the word gaggle in before you. I'm trying to get it in there before you, Jim. I've said it as my personal mission. I was just about to say, Jimmy, look at this absolute gaggle of cars that we've got out here. Michael Gray, Harry Seven involved, Phil Giles is in there as well. There is an absolute load of them, all fighting for position here, and all of different classes as well.
Yeah, and that's what I like to see, kind of a bit of a mix of the mix of the classes, I'd say. I mean, I know it's going to split by I rating, and that's kind of a rough estimation of skill level, but at the same time, I think a lot of these drivers are quicker than
No, we said it last year, didn't we, about a couple of them. George Butler was one of them when he was down in the AMP pushing up to pros. We were just asking ourselves how is he down there? Like when he's out on track, he's absolutely phenomenal, and we're going to see it again from all of the classes out there. Just because you're in an AMP doesn't make you necessarily the slower, the worst driver. It's literally just a rating. Pretty much how long you've been playing it, Jim. If I think if I'm correct with that one, but no, it will be really interesting to see how these guys do work their way through. Like Michael Gray started P1, qualified P1, sitting in P18 out on track at the moment, not in a podium position. And he's got a long way to go before he gets up there. He's got a lot of class sitting in front of him, though. There is a long time left, but there is a lot of great drivers out there in front of him.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good drivers out in front of him and on track in general. What's happened to Casper Roost here? Making a change from the, was he the one that was in the Audi last season?
He was the only one in the Audi last season, and I think Casper won't mind me saying I don't think he had the best time, just as he's not having the best of times right now on that corner.
Oh, that's a very, it's an interesting spot to lose the rear end. I mean, the Mercedes are kind of quite difficult, I'd say, to lose the rear end on. So there must be
The
something
Mercedes,
about his driving style. Is I suppose on a track like Spa, you do use less rear wing than normal because you want that higher top speed down the straight. So he's probably just got
no,
a little bit less rear end grip than he's expecting.
no, absolutely, Jimmy. But the Mercedes is one of the cars that I tend to go for when I'm jumping on here myself. It's an all around good car I find for GT3 racing. I'm not sure. Do you want to remind me? Has it changed since last season? What would be your go-to?
Uh, I like the Mercedes and I like the Porsche. Those are kind of my go-to. I think the Mercedes is a safe car to drive for the most part. And for me, I'm a big fan of the Porsche, so I always just go with the Porsche.
Sorry, Jimmy. Michael Gray just making a couple of moves there, pushing up a couple of positions, gets himself up into P16 now, taking on
Oh,
Harry 7. Oh, and Harry 7, there you go with Phil Giles. Is that Phil Giles in another instant out on track there?
that was
Both
a
gentlemen,
very synchronized spin from the two of them there, though.
something fantastic to look at. We'll take another look at that one right now. So let's have a look at this. A synchronized spin from the pair of them.
Yeah, so give it all has a lot of fog in the air there. Let's not use that camera angle as a. So they
So
keep
they
it nice
both
and
take the
tidy through here.
exact same line, pretty much.
Yeah, they go a little bit wide, and then I think you just yeah, just the rear ends just go.
There you
I
go.
think it is that lack of rear wing that a lot of the drivers are running just to get that higher top speed. I think it's just making the cars a little bit looser,
I'll tell
especially
you.
on a rear engine car.
Well, I'll
No,
tell
that's the
you what.
Ferrari though, one of them. I
Well,
don't know.
I'll tell you what though, they're lucky they're kind of not at the front of the pack. Could you imagine 22 other cars creaming around that corner and you two are sitting right in the middle of it, facing the wrong way?
Yeah, I think that'd frighten everybody involved. I think it would. It might end up a
No,
little bit badly for some of those drivers. But Craig Cornish just quickly still leading the way in the Ferrari up front, and he's just maintaining that second gap, sort of 9/10 to a second gap on Adam Wilson Weir. So yeah, he's doing well to hold position, but yeah, Adam's he's doing the same lap times now, but he just needs to find that little bit of extra pace if he wants to be fighting for that lead position.
no, we know how quick Adam is, and he's got plenty of time. He's got 45 minutes, Jim, to find that little bit of speed, and I think he will. He'll give Craig a nice little race. But like I said, we still got pits coming up and everything like that. You've got Tim Reed still has Otto Karras and Quinton Clumpert in front of him. Has not managed to pass these two guys just yet in the pros. Let's have another look at Casper though, shall we? What's happened now, Casper?
So it looks like it's the same spot that the that Lambo and Ferrari.
Is it going to be the
Had a bit-
same spin?
Let's see what happens.
No, so he gets around the corner. Oh,
Yeah,
just a
and
little bit
there's that
later.
rear end. I just need to delay that throttle just a little bit, just to keep the revs down and stop the rear end just spinning out. He
I tell you
he
that
has bad luck with the tail end on those cars, doesn't he? Oh,
he
Casper
really,
Roost.
he really, really does. He was spinning last season. He's spinning so far tonight. But look, Casper, we're 16 minutes into the first race of 8. Get it out of your system now, because there are plenty of great races coming up, and you don't want to be facing the wrong way on those ones.
So just
But
quickly, Adam was aware now 4/10. He was 3/10 a second ago to the lead car of Craig Cornish. He is finding some extra pace, and Craig is going to have to find some extra himself if he wants to keep that position because now that Adam's kind of getting a bit more slipstream, he's going to get increased more pace than he had before by a little bit, and he's going to start fighting for that win. But that could potentially put Harry Hartley-Price in contention. I know he's 6 seconds behind, but as soon as cars start battling, that is when they start slowing down.
Exactly. Slows them two down in front. That's going to be exactly what Harry wants. I was just thinking it a moment ago when we were looking at the two of them, Jimmy.
So
If
just to drop,
Adam,
James Vardekans has got a slowdown penalty as well, so he's going to lose a little bit of time. Potentially could risk losing position to Christopher Haynes. Sorry, back to you.
no, all I was going to be saying there is what Harry Hartley Price is going to be wanting now to bring down that 6 second gap, obviously, that he's got is for Adam to catch up to Craig. Like you said, you catch up to the car and they start fighting, it's going to slow them down, and Harry is going to be able to catch up to them and hopefully get himself up there a little bit more and get himself involved into the mix of these two ahead of him. But no, he's doing brilliantly at the moment, sitting in P3 comfortably, and I don't think he'll be worrying too much at the moment with 17 and a half minutes gone, though. But Otto Karras and Quinton Klumper, absolutely phenomenal, sitting up there in P4 and P5, P1 and P2 respectively, keeping Tim Reed at bay, and he has been fighting to try and get past him for a little while now, Jim.
Yeah, he is. He seems to be stuck a little bit. I mean, we do know that Quinton is a very fast driver, as we've seen in previous seasons. Also, Karras, new to this season, is showing some serious pace as well, keeping it not too far off the back of those elite drivers up ahead.
No, and it'd be very interesting to see if Tim Reed can get a move done on Quinton and Otto sitting ahead of him. Well, especially Quinton, who's just over a second ahead of him. Otto another second after that. But it'd be wanting to get that move done, and probably before the pits, I would imagine. Jim, is that right in me thinking there? Get that move done, get back with the rest of the elites before the pits, and everybody starts chopping and changing around, and you end up racing somebody else for a little bit more of the race.
Yeah, for me, it's not so much the importance of the pit stop. Well, I mean, it is. I mean, pit stops are very important for strategy and potentially getting a position on track. But if you're following someone who's maybe not as comfortable getting into the pit lane, they're not able to carry as much
Mm.
speed in there. It's going to slow both of you down and risk a potential crash or maybe a little bump or something if you carry more speed than them through the pit lane. As
Now,
yeah, Christopher Hayne is looking to get that move done as they are looking. A lot of them showing their noses here, just trying to throw each other off a little bit as Sam Dow's behind them gets a slow down penalty.
yeah, Sam Dowers with a slowdown. He'll have to serve that before that penalty to anything else. And there you go. He served it, Jimmy. He's sorted himself out right there. But no, I just want to jump back to the pits for a second, like the pit strategy, because I know how it works with me when I'm out racing, Jimmy. But for a race like this isn't something I've done too much of, especially like an hour long in the GT3s. You'll know that, and I know you have done it in the past. Like when it comes to pit strategy, is it something that you're deciding in the moment, or have you kind of got a plan and then just see what happens when you're out on track and try and stick to it? Like, what's your thought process on a pit strategy during a race like this?
Um, I think it very much depends on the race. I mean, you'll have a broad overall of when you want to roughly pit. I mean, for the most part, you want to basically near enough run out of fuel because the less fuel you have in your
Mm,
car, the lighter your car is, the faster you go, essentially.
yeah,
But if you are stuck behind a driver who is defending very well, but you're losing a lot of time, it could be worth just dipping into the pit lane a little bit early, refilling up on fuel and getting back out there and potentially getting away from that person that was slowing you down. So it can be a spur of the moment thing, but you'll have an overall idea of when you want to pit anyway at the start of the race.
yeah, that's kind of where my mind was at. Like, I have a plan in my head, and if I can stick to it, I will try to do that. But you know what it's like when you're out there. You kind of just have to make a decision at the time. Sometimes you come in a little bit earlier than intended, or if you're in a race with someone and you know you can get them on the position, or they're going to come in, and you can gain a position on them, and you're quick enough. I'm going to stay out a little bit longer than I intended to. It's really one of those, isn't it? Viewers, let us know at home what your thoughts are on pit strategies. But looking at the comments here, Jim, Elmer Van Beek said Otto Karras is also a member of our race team, the Flying Dutchman, like Quinton, Raymond, and Sam Dawes. There you go. He's another Flying Dutchman, so that's the orange and black livery. I do believe that we quite liked last season, so it'll be interesting to see what he looks like out there. We'll check that one out shortly. And Daniel Paul, who we remember from last season. Good evening, gents. Gutted not to be involved this season. Cheering on Jordan Butler though.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not cheer on Jordan? He's a good lad, and yeah, it's a shame that Daniel you couldn't make it for the season. Yeah, Daniel. He is another very quick driver out there.
No, really quick driver. Good, you can't be with us. Hopefully, we shall see you next season, though, Daniel. I mean, we better see you though, because you are a fantastic driver. But no, cheering on Jordan Butler, and no, we do like Jordan Butler, don't we, Jim? He's a good guy. He's a really good driver. He has classed up this year as well. He's gone from the AMs to the pros, so he's doing really well out there. And he's sitting, where is he? P9 out on track. There we go. We can see him at the moment. That is a beautiful livery on there. I did forget about those liveries there from the Spectras. Fantastic.
Yeah, I like the color coordination kind of thing that they've got going. Same livery, but they've each got their own little
Yeah, you got the blue and the
personalized
black.
color.
You've got the yellow and the black. I think they got the green and the black. I remember seeing them all last year. Once one of the teams sent me them, and I was absolutely drooling over the pictures because they are phenomenal looking cars, Jim. But there you go, Jordan Butler P9 out on track at the moment. Craig Core is still leading the way for the elites. Otto Karras still leading the way for the pros, and Joseph Greathouse still leading the ways for the AMs. Now, those three guys, Jim, have held on to P1 in each of their classes respectively, pretty much since the get-go, proving how good they all are tonight.
Yeah, I think Michael Gray losing the rear end and having a bit of a moment has given Craig Corish that lead position, and he seems to be quite comfortable leading the race, doesn't he? He's found a little bit extra time because Adam Wilson was getting very close behind him. He was within 3 tenths. Now he's up to 7 tenths behind him. So Craig Corish is pushing that
He,
car just a little bit more.
Now he's still keeping it under that second though, Jim. When he starts to fluctuate over that and persistently over that, that's when I'd be a little bit concerned if I was Adam that Craig is getting away from me. But at the moment, under a second, I'd kind of be okay with. Look, we're at the 23.5 minute mark. Pits will be coming up soon. And then you've got your rest of the race ahead of you.
Yeah, I think for those doing a early pit stop, as you might see here, maybe Tim Reed possibly could be going for one. That'll probably be coming up very soon, but we'll probably see most of the drivers pitting around the sort of 33 to 35 minute mark, I would say, in the race.
No, we will
But
do indeed. And the pits always do throw up an interesting little bit of a change out there. And with so many cars out there, Jim, I would expect quite a few changes when the pits do happen.
yeah, I'd imagine it's going to shake up the field just a little bit, just because of yeah, some people are very good at just nailing those pit stops and slowing down at the perfect opportunity to hit that pit speed limit as they cross the pit line and maximize their time. And you might see a few of them sort of underfueling the car a little bit so they can get out of there earlier, do a little bit of fuel saving in the race, and then keep the car lighter and a bit quicker. And it's all part of being all part of that strategy of the race.
No, it really is, Jimmy. Just want to look down at P13, Michael Gray. Obviously, we saw what happened to him earlier. Has not managed to cut through those pros in front of him, though, at the moment. And obviously, Joseph Gatehouse up there as well in P7. Has not managed to cut through them as quick as I thought he was going to.
No, I mean, like I said, they are all very quick drivers. So if you're like the difference between a pro and like an elite and an am could be a matter of maybe tenths of a second. So it's yeah, it's hard to fight your way through the field sometimes. And look at the times here; they're all doing roughly the same, and I mean that's just part of the skill of it, isn't it?
No, it really is. And there we go, just looking at Adam Wilson, Weir, Craig Corsh, and who's that? Is that a back runner there already? Sitting in front of them?
It could be because Raymond and
Is
Phil
that, yeah,
Giles are a bit further behind, aren't they? So
I believe that might be then Raymond sitting just in front of them at the moment, and he'll not want to hold these two guys up for too long. But that has allowed Adam right back in, though, Jim.
yeah, I mean, or he's just got out the way there. I'd say could have done. Is that Aaron Sparks there? Just is that the one getting lapped? Yeah, so that's yeah. I think he could have done a better job at moving out of the way, but at the same time, I don't think he was. It's a difficult spot on the track to get out the way because
It
you,
really
you,
is, though, Jimmy. But look at the
you,
implications of that now. Sorry to cut you, but look how close Craig Corsh is getting on Adam Wilson Weir now, who is now in P1.
yeah, I mean that is part of racing though. Sadly, it's just the lap cars, and I mean, yeah, it's not ideal for those drivers, and Adam Wilson will have to find a little bit more pace as he gets back up to 6 tenths of a second already. Curtis MacArthur getting a slowdown penalty in 12th. That might give Michael Gray a very good opportunity to get past him, and that is one more pro out of the way. But no, Curtis MacArthur's served the slowdown.
There you go. Now, Jimmy, it's something that I like to see, and I have missed it. Can we do an onboard?
Yep, so we'll sit on board with the car here, and we'll run you through a lap that the drivers go through, so you can get a sense of what the drivers are dealing with on a evening like this. So heavy braking zone into a downhill hairpin for turn 1 of the drivers, and then this is the huge, lovely, flat-out bit part of Spa. This is the reason why so many people love this track, and as Gaz mentioned earlier, one of his favourite corners in racing, as you go pretty much flat out as you possibly dare, uphill, holding 5th gear to keep the revs high, keep as much speed through as possible. And then we're down to the main part of the straight, into another heavy braking zone as we go through an S section of the, is it an S section? I'll call it an S kind of section of the track, as we hit the curb on the right hand side, go over the curb on the left hand side, minimize your time on track as we go flat out now, downhill into another very heavy braking zone. Bit of an awkward one here as you're going downhill, turning and trying to get the car rotated around quite a long right-hander. And then we've got a nice 90-degree left-hander here as you go down on the brakes, carry that speed through, run as wide as you dare. Then we've got another quite fun corner coming up here. Kind of a longer version of the one we've just seen, as you sort of down on the brakes, get the car rotated, back on the throttle as early as you can, keeping tight to that apex so you can track out wide and carry as much speed through as possible into another nice little braking zone here, another wide right-hander into a bit of a surprisingly sketchy left-hander here, as you can get thrown out wide into that gravel, and that can scupper your race. Now we've got another 90-degree here, carry as much speed through as you can, back on using all the curb to track out wide as possible, then near enough flat, using all the curbing again into the back straight of the track. Only a couple corners left of this lap, and yeah, it's flat out all the way through here, but on those cold tyres it could be a bit sketchy coming up through this next little kink in the track. As you see here, this is where we saw the loss of a few drivers such as Michael Gray earlier on into a very, very heavy braking zone, and using all the curb you can on the left, minimize it, using all the curb on the left again, and the track out wide as we see Craig Corr, dipping into the pits behind him, going for that early pit stop, try and get some good track position as he comes out after that. So it's yeah.
I've absolutely sorry, Jimmy. I've absolutely missed that. I really love seeing how it is. Sorry, Casper Roos picking up a black flag at the moment as well. Just seeing that one. I know he just pitted a moment ago. Not too sure what he's picked that black flag up for. Michael Gray also pitted a moment ago, so they're trying the undercut. But I wonder what Casper's picked up that black flag for.
Yep, and sorry, one thing I think we forgot to mention as well, Adam Wilson-Weir took first place because of the troubles that Craig had getting past the lapped car, and just got word that Casper Roost, unsafe pit entry, carrying too much speed into the entry of the pit lane. That's why we said it's so important to practice it, and yeah, it's a difficult one to get right, but it is. We are simulating a real race here. You can't be driving unsafely in the pit lane. It is dangerous. So Casper Roos is going to have to come in and serve a drive-through penalty.
Drive-through penalty is not what you are wanting on the first race of the season. But hey ho, get it out of the way now, Casper. Like I said with your spins, get it all done and get it out your system early before we crack on. But you can see the drivers now, Jimmy. A few of them have dived in to the pits, as you can see. Obviously, Craig's gone in, Harry's gone in, James Vardigan's, James Moore, Ryan Clark. I know Michael Gray had already pitted with Casper Roost about a lap or two ago. It's really going to be interesting seeing how they all come out before they all start to get back into their packs again. We saw
Yeah,
I was just sorry. So I was just going to say we saw the implications of having to pass somebody else in a different race. Obviously, with the back marker a moment ago with Adam Wilson-Weir and Craig Corrish, and costing Craig essentially P1 there. Feel like he possibly could have got out of the way, that back marker, a little bit sooner and possibly a little bit better. But like you said, it's a difficult part of the track.
yeah, and sometimes for a back marker driver that's getting lapped, it's it's a tough one to decide between. Do you just keep the normal racing line and stay predictable, or do you try and move out the way? And if you haven't got enough time to move out the way, it's a bit rough because you don't want the quicker driver behind you to sort of dive to the inside as you move to the inside to move out the way, and then you end up colliding and ruining both of your races. So I think sometimes it is better to just stay on that racing line and stay predictable if you don't know what you're doing, or what's best
Yeah,
to
see,
move
I
out
always
the
I
way.
always try and move out the way at the earliest point, and like to try and make it obvious, like why else would I be over here? But no, I do completely understand what you mean there, Jim. Like just stay on the racing line, keep predictable, let the cars behind you do the racing. And look, Adam Wilson and Craig Corrish had to do that. Sadly, it's cost Craig P1. He's in P15 at the moment. He did dive into the pit, so like we did see when we was on board with Adam Wilson, we're so for now, Adam leads the way in the elite. Otto's leading the way in the pros, and Joseph is in the pits at the moment, but he's still technically leading the way for the AMs as well at the moment. But we'll see how it all lines up after everybody's pitted, and we've given them a couple of laps to get back round to the racing to see what happens and see where everybody is.
Yeah, I think staying out is going to work very much in Adam's favour here. But at the same time, Craig Corish getting that kind of nice clean air away from other drivers, he might find some extra lap time with that. We'll have to keep an eye on how he does when Adam finally comes round to pit. But yeah, you can see it's getting a bit of a spread of cars at the moment with yeah, I think that's kind of what the pit lane does to you to an extent, but it can also cause the opposite reaction where you kind of bunch everyone back up again. But clearly, these guys have been practicing their pit stops, and yeah, it's going very well for them.
It really, really is, Jimmy. But like I said, we'll have to see where everybody lines up after the pits and how it's all set out there. I think we've still got a few cars, a few of the front runners still to pit at the moment to go. So we'll see how it goes. But Jimmy, we are at that halfway point of the race, and I think you know what I'm about to ask you. But I'm going to let you pick for the first week. Would you like the pro, the am, or the elite driver of the day?
Oh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one.
I tell you what, you've been trumped to the spot there. Our our marshal on board, our guy behind the scenes, he's going to give us the elite. So we'll let everybody know his reasoning and who he picks for that one. So do you want the pro or the AMs, Jimmy?
You know, what, I'll take the pros. I'll take the pros this time, and
Not a
then we
problem.
could swap round for the next
No,
race of the season.
absolutely. I'll check in with you again, probably with about 5-10 minutes left to go on that one. See who you think. But no, Jimmy, you're on the pros. I'm on the AMs, and our Mr. Marshall in the background. He is going to be on the elite driver of the day. And guys at home, let us know if you've been watching along all race. Let us know who's been your driver of the day so far today, and let us know at the end of the race who indeed is actually your driver of the day.
Yeah, and just quickly, the top eight, top nine are all dipping into the pit lane now as Tim Reed gets a black flag, unsafe pit entry. That is gonna, that is not good for Tim Reed. There, he's tried so hard to work his way back up through the field, and yeah, that's going to drop him down a little bit. He's going to lose an extra 30 odd plus seconds after that as he does his drive-through penalty on the next lap. But
That's a real shame for him. He's been fighting hard all race so far to try and get himself up there.
really has taken a look at to see what's gone on here. Did he lock up or anything potentially on entry? So
Has he gone too quickly into
no, I don't
pit?
think so. It might have just been on the entry to the pits, or I don't know. It's a tough one to call, but yeah, that's a big shame for Tim Reed there. As Adam Wilson, we're gaining 3.5 seconds on Craig Corish, staying out. I told you that lighter car,
Paid off.
and that clean air really does just give him that so much extra speed as he goes round. So that has gone so well for Adam there. Craig, he has gained over half a second, bring it down to 2.8 now, but that is still a
No,
big
Jimmy,
ask
sorry.
to gain that much time.
Been confirmed unsafe pit entry is why he picked up the black flag there, Tim Reed. So we'll have to possibly go back to that one a little later if we can grab it for you and see how it's gone. gone down there. But no, Tim Reed will not be happy with that one as he's now sitting in P18 at the moment. Adam Wilson Wheeler leading the way with Craig Corish in P2. Obviously, that change happened a little while ago before the pits. Quintin Klump at P3 on track, P1 for the pros with Harry Hartley Price in P3, P4 on track for the elites. Otto Carries now in P2 with Michael Gray up to P3. So he's worked himself back up there a little bit there, Jimmy. That early pit seemed to have worked out for him. Joseph Greathouse leading the way for the AMS at the moment, P7 out on track, with Matt Massey just behind him, Curtis MacArthur, Rob Smith, Jordan Butler, Christopher Haynes, and Ryan Clark. So what's happened here with Sam Dowes?
Oh, Phil Giles looks like he's in the wall there. I wonder what's happened with him. That is a yeah, tough part of the track to rejoin on. But he kept the car out the way, it didn't impede anyone's race, so that's well done to him. So we can have a little rewind and just see what happened to him here.
Looks like he lost it on the curb there when quickly saw the spin. See if I was.
It doesn't
No, he
touch
didn't.
the
It doesn't.
curb, keeps it very tight. I think he might have just over-rotated the car, just turned it a
Easily
little
done.
bit too much to yeah, to keep over to the right-hand side and possibly just lost it on maybe overheated tires. But yeah, he keeps out the way, gets the car moving again. Oh no, he retires to the pit lane, so he might have had a
Yeah,
bit of damage.
he's put himself out there, Jimmy. So him and John Harley obviously didn't start the race out. Raymond Van. Oh no, so I just saw Raymond Van Zuppen saying he was out there, but I think that was just a little bit of an error there on the screen.
Yeah, we just got a little message in the YouTube chat. Daniel Poole giving Craig Koresh driver of the day. Battling with Adam is some feat. Yeah, I mean they've done well, and I mean Craig Koresh as well. I don't know what's happened to him this second stint because he is gaining a lot of time onto Adam Wilson. I do wonder if Adam Wilson maybe underfueled the car a little bit just to get through the pit lane a bit quicker, and is having to do a little bit of fuel saving, a little bit of lifting and coasting in a few of these corners, and that's allowing Craig Corish to catch up a little bit, but might see him gain some pace towards the end of the race as we're coming up to the 40-minute mark, now 2/3 of the way through, and yeah, it's amazing when you kind of get 40 minutes into a race and drivers are still bumper to bumper, as we're seeing with Curtis and Matthew Massey on track at the moment.
Something, Jimmy, that I've noticed. So Curtis MacArthur, like I said, joining us new this season. He has been involved with everything so far. He's really pushing himself up the track. He seems to be a very, very good driver.
Yeah, he's definitely got a lot of pace out there, and yeah, fighting with Matthew Massey as well, someone who's who's not shy to a bit of GT3 racing. So
We know Matt Massey, and we know how good he is. So Curtis has got a little bit of a task ahead of him to get past him, but he's munched down on that time there, Jimmy. We'll see if he can get that one done soon. But Harry Seven chasing on Ryan Clark, now the two pros for 13th and 14th respectively, with James Vardigans and Casper who's picking up yellow flags. Quickly dropped there by Casper. Sure, James will get his done soon. But no, there's some battling happening back out here on track, James, for some positions. Curtis looking to get the move done now immediately on Matt Massey. Has he got it done? Yeah, so much speed through there on the outside, and puts himself up into P8 and P3 for the pros now.
yeah, I mean he carried a lot of speed around that outside, and I think that's the thing. It's when you got that inside line there, you got to rotate the car so much more to keep on track. And I think if you don't want to track out wide and hit the car that's overtaking you on the outside, so you just lose that little bit of pace. And yeah, it's not ideal for him, but if he's got the pace, he can get back and carry on fighting with him, try and get that position back as he stays within a second of him. Look at this. Do you want to use the word Gaz as a little group of cars?
It's a small gaggle of cars here with Harry Seven chasing down Ryan Clark, who is chasing down Christopher Haynes. The three of them here together. I love seeing a bit of great racing. We know how good these three really are as well.
Yeah. 3 wide down here. Someone's going to have to back out. Otherwise, there's going to be some.
Nearly a traffic light. It's nearly a traffic light looking down the track. There you go. What
Keep
a
it too
move
wide.
there.
Yeah, I think they all backed out a little bit from each other. It's a sensible thing to do around.
Well, Ryan Clark and Harry Seven made the move on Christopher Haynes there. So Christopher Haynes dropping back to the trio, dropping to the back of the trio at the moment there. So good move from the two of them to get that done. But that is a risky place to be going 3 wide there, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, we've had this discussion in the past, and I think when we've raced around here, and it's yeah, you don't go too wide through Eau Rouge. It's just so Like, it's doable, but you've got to have a lot of faith in the driver next to you, and sometimes it's just easier to just lift a little bit back out and try and get that slipstream and then build up your pace once again. Like we always say, it's you can overtake anywhere on track, but whether you should is a different question.
Yeah, whether you should and whether you can are two very, very different questions. So another comment in the chat there, Jim, from Daniel Paul. He's giving Craig Corsh his driver of the day because battling obviously with Adam is some feet. I did get that one. Sorry. If James Vardigans holds onto this AM podium, he's now his AM driver of the day.
Yeah, I mean he's doing very, very well, and we always see it. And I literally almost brought it up earlier when I saw there was a car between the two of them. But those two Jameses are always together on track. They are glued to each other in the timing boards, and yeah, it's
No, they really, really are, and it's something we're getting quite used to seeing with the two of them. They're always racing with each other.
yeah. I mean they are on the same team, same car. They clearly do practice and train together, and have sort of built up the same sort of pace as each other. But yeah, it does make it a bit more fun watching them two. Who's going to come out champion at the end of the season out of those two guys?
No, absolutely, and we'll hopefully look forward to seeing how that progresses throughout the rest of the season, Jim. But looking at now, Harry Seven's looking to get a move on Ryan Clark.
Yeah, and we're coming up to that. Yeah, nearly three-quarters of the way through the race. So I think any moment now, maybe at the start of next lap, Gaz, should we start talking about who we personally think's our driver of the day?
No, absolutely, mate, absolutely. We can start talking about that in just a moment's time. We'll get a little bit closer to that 15-minute mark before we do.
But yeah, Craig Corsh though keeping very close behind Adam Wilson. We're now he's within that second, so he's going to start fighting for that lead position. And yeah, like I said earlier, I don't know where his pace has come from, but going from 3.5 seconds behind, I didn't think he was going to get anywhere close before the end of the lap because they were lapping near identical lap times earlier on, and yeah, they're now kind of just he's now just flying along. So yeah, he's done something during that pit stop, and whatever it's done, it has worked for him. As you see, Harry Seven getting very close behind Ryan Clark here, looking
Let's
to make the move. That Lamborghini looks so angry behind the Porsche there. Something about the headlights on that car make it look like a very angry car. He's hunting him down. You can see it there. The Porsche I
No,
was fine. It's quite a friendly looking car, but yeah, that Lambo looks mean behind it.
yeah, the Porsche coming down the back of the straight there, the top end of it with its happy eyes lit up all there for us. Then you got the evil look of that Lambo there. No, but he's looking to get that move done, Jim. He keeps himself so tight to Ryan Clark sitting just in front of him.
Yeah, they are keeping very close behind each other. Someone goes off there, and or is he coming out the? No, he wouldn't be coming out the pits, would he? Unless he potentially went off. I wonder what
Not
happened
sure
with that
about
car
that one.
anyway. But we'll keep an eye on that as we see Craig Corsh, Adam Wilson. We're getting past the.
Well, Craig Corsh will be wanting to get round this back marker as soon as he can. He's not going to want to let Adam get away because he just broke into the second marker on him there, Jim, to get up to him, and he's not going to want to be stuck behind him for too long as he gets the move done right now. Sitting there just over half a second behind Adam Wilson.
Yeah, it took him a little bit longer to get past, but he didn't seem to lose too much time from doing it. He's still within half a second of Adam Wilson Weir to fight for that win for the first race of the season as we come up to three-quarters of the way through the race. Ideally, you want to get any moves done within the next 5 minutes or so because it's that's kind of it feels a little bit easier for these guys to defend, doesn't it, than it does to attack.
No,
And
absolutely. It's one of those kind of tracks, isn't it? I'd rather be defending than attacking on it.
yes, I think there was someone going off because, like, yeah, Daniel Paul's just said in the YouTube chat that is, yeah, James Vardigan's up to P2. It's split by Christopher Haynes now, so it's all down to Christopher Haynes here to see if he can get P2 or if James Moore can attack him to get onto that podium position. Will we see a double James on the podium? We'll have to wait until the end of the race to find out as
All
Yeah,
the Jameses in it. There's so many Jameses in it. I'm going to lose track at this rate. But no, Jimmy, we're up to that point now. So, do you want to let everybody know what our man behind the scenes has given, who he has given our elite driver of the day to?
Yep, our man behind the scenes, Mr. Connor Pink himself, has gone with Michael Gray for his driver of the day. Led the race at the beginning, had incredible pace, and sadly he did crash out, but working his way back up to fourth in the elite, sixth overall on track at the moment is an incredible feat, an incredible drive from him, and he has done very, very well here. So yeah, that is Connor's driver of the day here at Trackside Broadcasting.
Yeah, just want to jump on that. That's a brilliant drive. Sorry, Jim, just before you go on. Michael Gray, we saw what happened to him at the start of the race. And again, yeah, he's got himself up to sixth overall, P3 now on the podium. I'm sorry, P4. Forgot about Harry Hartley Price there with no colour. P4 overall. He really, really, really has done phenomenal. Jimmy, let's follow suit. Let's drop down to the pros then. So give us your pro driver of the day, please.
Yeah, this was a harder decision for me because there's a few names in mind. Honorable mention to Otto Karas for joining the league and then showing incredible pace out on track for his first race of the season. But speaking of incredible pace, my driver of the day has got to go to Quinton Klumpert, just because he's just up there fighting with the elites at the moment. He's so fast on track right now. He's having such a good drive, so I've got to give it to him. He's just had there's no other word to describe it, but just an absolutely solid race out there this evening.
No, he really, really has since he's got himself up there into that P1 spot. Literally in qualifying, he kept it, and I don't think he's been challenged really since. But no, absolute brilliant shot there from Quinton Clumpert. Are you ready for my AM driver of the day then, Jimmy?
I am ready. Let us all know who you picked for your AM driver.
So I think it goes without saying really, but he's proved just how strong he is tonight, and he's a new one joining us this season. It's going to go to Joseph Greathouse for me. Look, he qualified P1 in the AMs. He sat P1 the entirety of the way around past 48 and a half minutes of this race. He's had pros behind him. He's had elites behind him, and he hasn't really been taken by anyone. Michael Gray and a couple of others, yes, but he's held his own out there. So for me, phenomenal drive this evening. My driver of the day goes to Joseph Greathouse in the AMs.
Yeah, absolutely solid choice. I mean, he is just flying out on track. He's clear air in front, clear air behind. He's just able to just hot lap out there, get some really good lap times down, and keep a really good position. And yeah, I mean, I gotta say though, overall, I mean, everyone's. I don't think we've really had anyone that's been a standout bad drive today. So, I mean, shout out to everyone out there currently on track. But yeah, Craig Korish is struggling to get past Adam Wilson-Weir, and he caught up to him so quickly, but I think he's struggling to find that last few tenths of pace just to get past. Like we said, it seems a little bit easier for these guys to defend than it does to attack and get the overtakes done. Which I mean,
It really,
that's
really
a
is.
nice camera angle we're seeing right there. You can see the it's almost like an oil spill kind of that kind of paint job. I quite like it. A little bit of chrome on there,
A
but
little bit of that sheen. I know what you're kind of saying, but no, Peter Duke in the comments agrees with you, James. Brilliant drive from Craig Korish.
yeah, he's flying out there on track. But not to say that Adam Wilson-Weir isn't also having a great drive as well. Both of them leading the race for the longest time. They've both done incredibly well out there.
No, they really, really have done. It's quite a shame, really, what happened with Michael Gray towards the start of the race, because it really would have been interesting to see how he would have been. Obviously, we don't know too much about him. He's new to the season. We've seen Adam race before. We've seen Craig race before. So it's going to be real interesting to see what Michael has done. And I think that's why Connor was right, giving him driver of the day. After what happened, look what he's done. He's up in P6, P4 overall in class. He's pulled it back brilliantly. It's a real, real shame that we couldn't have seen what he would have been like up there with Adam and Craig.
Yeah, we'll have to wait till next week to see what he can do when he's fighting at the front with the rest of them. If he can get to the front on the next track, it's a very very different track to this one that we've got coming up next week. So
I
another
absolutely love the
absolutely
next
iconic
track.
track. But
It's a very iconic track. We'll let everybody know what it is at the end of the stream. So
yeah, that's
make
what I was
sure you
about to
stick
say.
around to find out. Yeah, make sure you stick around to find out exactly where we're racing next week, guys. But it is an iconic one, and I am looking forward to it. But
Yeah.
there you go, Jimmy. We are just under 10 minutes left to go. What is in your brain now if you're Craig Corrish? You're still under a second to Adam Wilson where you need to get that move done. Sorry, Otto Karis there taking P1 for the pros. It looks like Quinton has gone into the pits there.
Yeah, I
I
wonder what's
wonder what
happened
has happened with
to Quinton
Quinton
Clumper.
Clumper.
I wonder if he
I,
didn't put enough fuel in his car and he's had to pit again,
Well, that's
which
a
is
real shame if that is the case, and I'm going to say that's a bit of a rookie one there, Jimmy, on that one. But he has been racing so hard this evening. But no, there you go. Otto Karis now taking P1 in the pros for this evening. Great drive from him, as you were saying a moment ago, and now he's been rewarded with it. So we'll try and get confirmation of what has happened to Quinton Clumpert. But no, Jimmy, sorry. 9 minutes to go. What's in your brain now? Look, you're Craig Corrish. What are you trying to do to get past Adam Wilson? Where?
I think this is when you got to start playing those mind games. You got to start showing your nose in certain corners. You got to get right on the back of that bumper. You got to make him a little bit sketchy. You got to make him like think about potentially making a mistake up ahead so you can take advantage and get past. It's if you can't get past with the pace, you've got to kind of I don't know. You got to kind of almost make them think that they're I don't know how to describe it. You got to play mind games really, and you got to try and force a mistake out of them, but without making contact. Obviously, you don't want to
You
you
just
don't
got
want
to
to ruin
keep
someone's
knocking at the
race.
door. No, you just
Yeah,
got to keep knocking at that door, haven't you? Really, exactly like you said. Just dropping off a little bit now. Not as much in the back bumper as he was a moment ago, and he's just under 8 minutes left to go to get that one done. Still got a couple of other little fights going out on track. Ryan Clark and Harry Seven are going at each other at the moment. There was a little bit of a swap back between the two of them. But Harry Seven has taken P12 for now out on track with Ryan Clark just dropping off behind him. Tim Reed still looking to get his way through and just improving those last few moments of the race as well, Jim. He's got a couple of AMs and then the rest of them pros in front of him, but I think it's a little bit too late in the race now for Tim.
yeah. So we have got technical issues. We're currently stuck with the onboard of Craig Corish, but it's a nice camera angle, so we'll have to stick with that until we can start switching it about. So we'll have to see what's going on there.
Well,
But
let's hope Craig stays exactly where he is out on track. And we can bring you the race end if it is stuck that long.
But yeah, I mean, we saw Craig Koresh making the dive down. There we go. We can get different camera angles once again. But we saw Craig making that dive down into the final few turns of the corner. So he's definitely looking to make that move and get it done. And but yeah, Adam Wilson, we're looking unfazed out on track. He just kept position and kept going. So let's see what happened between Raymond Van Suffen over here. Does he just lose a little bit on exit? Yeah, that rear end just slipping and going round. Does he keep it off the wall? Oh, that's close. But yeah, he kept it off the wall. Car is intact.
Oh,
And
lucky Flying Dutchman there. Flying Dutchman, who boys will be happy he kept that one out of the wall. Very, very lucky boy there, Jimmy.
yeah, very lucky indeed. Because yeah, you don't want to be ruining a race, especially 50, 54, 55 minutes into the race. That is not when you want to be making a mistake.
Yeah, look, he's a little bit way at the back. He's in his own little space at the moment. I don't think it's going to impact him too much at all. If anything, it's just giving Baz behind him in 23rd a little bit of extra.
Oh, Craig Corso getting on the inside. Sorry to interrupt you there. He is carrying a lot of speed through that corner. They are going too wide through these last few turns. They're going to Adam Wilson is going to have the advantage with the line that he had, but that has brought Craig Koresh ever much closer, and he's going to be even more in that slipstream, 2/10 behind, and yeah, see if he can get the move done for that. Adam Wilson, we're defending beautifully, holding position beautifully as well. It is a proper fight between these two out on track.
Tell you what, I was just looking at the comments as well there, Jimmy, while that was going on. Daniel Paul thinks Craig's going to get the move done for P1. I tell you, if he carries on the way that he's doing with less than 5 minutes to go, I think he might be right. Looking to get to the next to the side of him there, just showing that he is still there to Adam and he's not going to be leaving him alone.
Yeah, they've only got a matter of about 2 or 3 laps left to go, and yeah, there's not a lot of time left to get that position done. Adam Wilson, we're taking the nice defensive line through there, forces Craig Korish to take a little bit, go a little bit further out, and loses a bit of time through there. As we see, James Moore getting very close behind Christopher Haynes. He's wanting to get that move done if he wants to get onto the podium himself. Christopher Haynes having to defend against him if he wants to keep the podium as well.
Well, Chris Faines just took the position from James Moore there, Jim, so we'll be looking to keep hold of that one as well because that more points in your pocket the higher you finish, isn't it?
It really, really is, and yeah, you don't want to be losing points at any point in the season. So you're going to want to
Plenty,
be on
plenty
your
of
best
races
form
left.
the entire time. Plenty of races left, but at the same time, the more points, the better. I'd say secures
No,
that win, or if you can
I'll
get
tell
it.
you what. Talking of wins, Jimmy, it'll be really, really interesting to see who does finish in P1 out of these two up front. Adam Wilson and Craig Corsh. They pretty much led it the entire way after what happened with Michael Gray, who has got himself up into P4 overall on track, and P4 still in the elites there, Jim. So that is a brilliant drive from him. That is to get himself all the way back up there. Just a little bit away off Harry Hartley Price, and obviously with Craig and Adam ahead of him by a little bit. I don't think he's going to be getting himself onto the podium spots this week, but that is a phenomenal drive from Michael Gray, to say it again tonight. But who will finish in P1? Is it going to be Adam Wilson Weir, or is it going to be Craig Corish?
Yeah, it's difficult to say, but at the moment, Adam Wilson we're leading the way in P1, Craig Corish in P2, Harry Hartley Price again having a great drive in P3 behind him, Michael Gray, phenomenal recovery drive. Would have been interesting to see how he would have got on had he stayed out in front in P4. Otto Karas leading the way in the pros in P5, with Joseph Greathouse just behind him leading the way in the AMs. There's not much between all of these drivers out there out on track. Curtis MacArthur just behind him, with Matthew Massey in 8th, Jordan Butler 9th, Rob Smith in 10th, that's your top 10 on track. We then have Quinton Clumper in 11th, Harry Seven in 12th. Just quickly, this is the final lap of the race as that white flag is waved as they go across the finish line. And yeah, I'll just continue reading out the order there. Quinton Clumper in 11th, Harry Seven in 12th, Ryan Clark 13th, James Vardigan's 14th on track at the moment. Tim Reed 15th, Christopher Haynes 16th, James Moore, then Sam Dowes, Sean Clark, Aaron Sparks, Casper Roost, Baz Cutting are your 22 drivers currently out on the track at the moment.
There you go. Like you said, Jimmy, as well, we are on to the last race as well. And Craig Corish is still sitting just under 3 tenths behind Adam Wilson Weir. Can he make anything happen on this last lap?
We'll have to see as Adam Wilson Weir goes very defensive through there. Craig Corish getting just alongside. Can he slow Adam Wilson Weir down enough to get the position? Adam Wilson Weir getting the favourable inside line there, but Craig Corish getting so much more speed on the outside line. Using all the track, you can see the gravel and the dirt flying up there as they give each other millimetres of space coming around the corner. Adam Wilson Weir getting the slight advantage from having that inside line and keeps the lead at the moment. Craig Corish carrying a lot of speed as he goes for a move once again. Adam Wilson Weir going slightly defensive. Craig Corish just holding back.
What a brilliant bit of driving from both of them just there to fight that. I think the name swapped around about 3 or 4 times there, Jim, before it settled with Adam back out in front of Craig. But he is not giving up just yet as Craig looks to the side of Adam to take it. But Adam still will have the inside corner of his. Still have a little bit of the advantage, but Craig should have the inside of the next corner. Will he get a move done? I'm not too sure at the moment he will, but they are pretty much side by side still at the moment. Adam's going to have the inside for the next, so he should slot Craig just back in behind him, and yes, he does 4 now. Is it over though, Jimmy? Is there any time left to get it done?
And it's going to be very, very difficult. He's going to have to make a bit of a lunge here. He lost a bit of time behind him there, but he is gaining on him ever so slightly by thousandths of a second. I think it's going to be a bit of a risky dive if he does go for it. So Adam Wilson Weir is probably going to take the inside line, keep defensive, and force Craig Corish to go for that longer outside line, slowing him down just a little bit. There you go, goes for that outside line. Adam Wilson Weir going on the inside, but now is forced on the outside. Craig Corish and him, it's 2 by 2. It's hard to call who's going to win. Adam Wilson Weir gets a bit further ahead, and Adam Wilson Weir keeps the win of the race.
What an
a
ending.
drive between those two.
I tell
That
you
was,
what, we nearly had the photo finish there, Jim, but I think Adam took it by just about. Look at that. Look how close that time is. There's barely a tenth in it, 2 tenths in it just there. Harry
Yeah,
Hartley Price coming over the line in P3. Michael Gray finishing in P4 as well behind him. Otto Karas will take the P1 for the pros, with Joseph Greathouse taking the P1 for the AMs on his debut race here in the Tanzo Racing Group, along with Otto Karas. Brilliant drive from the pair of them. Curtis MacArthur is going to come over the line in P2 for your pros, followed by Matt Massey in P3.
Yeah, they've got Jordan Butler crossing the line now as well, with Rob Smith just behind him out on track. Very close between those two guys as well. Quinton Clumpert going around the last few corners as well. I'd be interested to know what happened to him when he had to pit again at the end, because I thought he was on for a very, very good win there. It'll be,
No, so we all did. We all did. He was leading for quite a way, Jimmy. So it'd be really, really interesting to find out exactly what did happen, and maybe we will find out after the race. I'm sure he'll let us know. But there you
yeah,
go. James Vardigan coming over the line in P2 for the AMS. Tim Reed crossing for the Elites. He's looking to have a better race next week. James Moore taking the final spot just about ahead of Christopher Haynes there. P3 in the AMS for James Moore. Christopher Haynes just behind him with Sam Duaz, Sean Clark, Aaron Sparks. All finished already on the previous lap. Casper Roos is our last driver out there. Come on, Casper. Finish it off for the evening, mate. And there you go. Casper Roos will cross the line there in P21 to round off a great evening of racing, if I do say so myself, Jim.
yeah. I mean, I think Daniel Paul's nailed it in the YouTube chat there. Wow, what an ending! It really was. There's
That was
nothing between those
phenomenal.
two guys there. It was difficult to tell who was going to get that position, but yeah, beautiful driving from everyone all around there. Sadly, we lost a couple of drivers in the race, but yeah, great work all around. As we'll list out our top drivers from first
Point,
to last for you in 8 moments' time.
0.173 in it, Jim, between P1 and P2 there in the elite. So that was absolutely brilliant into that race.
That really was. That really was. But yeah, now this is the final order of the race. So in first place we have Adam Wilson Weir. Second place, Craig Corish. And in third place we have Harry Hartley Price. That is your top three of the race. Then we have Michael Gray with a good recovery drive there in fourth place. And we have Otto Karas leading the pro division there, getting first place in the pros, fifth place overall on track. Joseph Greathouse, though, again, getting leading the AMs out on track, but getting sixth place overall, followed by Curtis MacArthur, Matthew Massey, Jordan Butler, Rob Smith, Quinton Clumpert, Ryan Clark, Harry Seven, James Vardigans, Tim Reed, James Moore, Christopher Haynes, and Sam Dowes. Then we have Sean Clark, Aaron Sparks, Casper Roost, Baz Cutting, Raymond Van Zutphen, Phil Giles, and John Harley is your 25 drivers out there. 24 out racing this evening. Sadly, we lost a couple of the guys on track, but what a fantastic start to the season that we've seen right now. I mean, that was an incredible first race. Spa always delivers, and yeah, phenomenal, utterly
No,
phenomenal for everyone.
it really, really, really does, mate. And it was some absolute great racing out there, and so great to see these new drivers performing as well as they did out there with some of these guys who've been racing for the past few seasons. Really, really, really great race tonight that we had to start us off here in
Yeah,
our
and
all European season.
yeah, all European season. We've got a great track coming up next week as well, which we'll mention after we do the interviews. So we're going to bring a couple of the drivers in and chat to them about their race. I see there's one eager person already in the waiting room, and as
Yeah,
the rest of them drop in now, so
there we
should we?
go. So yeah, Jimmy, shall we bring in our overall race winner, our elite first, and our overall first out on track? Shall we speak to a Mr. Adam Wilson Weir first?
Absolutely, let's bring him in here and let's see how he's getting on.
There we go. Adam, good evening. Congratulations. First win of the season on the very first race. What an ending, by the way, between you and Craig Corish. How are you doing, mate?
Hello, hello. I'm doing great. It was a bit of a sweaty one at the end there for sure.
Hey, mate, it was real tight. It made some great viewing. We did not know what was going to happen between you and Craig Corish. It nearly was the photo finish that I thought we were thinking it was going to be between the two of you. But no, absolutely brilliant drive from the pair of you out there, mate. How did you find it?
It was tough. I mean, after the pit stops, the tires were just dead, and Craig had the legs on me today. Like, I'm the first to admit that. Like, he was just quicker than me. So the strategy was, obviously it was P3 start him, so just fuel safe behind the guys. Um, they're going to be quicker, so they're going to pull away. So as long as I stay within the 1 second, fuel save when I can. If the gap drops down to about 0.5, I can save. If it gets away a bit, I need to catch up a bit. So it's back and forth, back and forth. So I managed to do 2 extra laps and get the jump on him on the pit. So I
Yeah,
was
the
happy
pit
with that.
strategy really seemed to pay off for you because I think it was about less than a second before the pits, and then after he came out, there was about 3.5 seconds in there, so it really, really paid off for you, mate. Look, you had a great race tonight. Thank you, some brilliant driving at the end there between you and Craig. Don't like to keep you guys for too long though after such a long race, mate. So anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Yeah, first of all, the host of the series, yourselves as well, and everyone watching. You know, it's great to see the support out there for all the drivers. So, thank you.
No, brilliant, mate. And we shall catch you next week. You have a good week, all right, buddy?
Have a good one. See ya.
See you later, Adam. See you later, mate. There you go, Jimmy. That was our overall P1 and Elite 1 winner. Shall we get the guy who finished pretty much next to him in here?
Yeah, let's give Craig a chat and let's see how he's getting on because yeah, that was a close race at the
There
end
we
there.
go. Yeah, definitely. We'll get him in here. Craig Corish finished P2, very, very nearly P1. Craig, congratulations on that P2, mate. It was so tight at the end.
Yeah, thank you.
How did you find that one, mate? Because you and Adam gave some great racing right at the end there.
I really enjoyed that. Obviously, I can't remember his name, but P1, who qualified P1, spun on the first lap.
Quinton, no, sorry, Michael Gray. Michael Gray, sorry. Yeah, in your
Michael, yeah.
top three.
That basically paved the way for me and Adam to have a good race. I did a little bit of a pit stop strategy and it nearly worked, but I just couldn't get the power on like he could in turn one. So every time I come to Kemmel Straights, I was struggling.
There you go, mate. There you go. But look, it's a long old race. It's the first one of the season. You got plenty of races to make up for that and try and get a P1 out there next race. But no, brilliant bit of driving from the pair of you right at the end there, mate. Brilliant viewing that was. Make sure you check it out. All right.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
There you go, mate. Look, we don't like to keep you too long. Anyone you want to say thank you to or give a shout out to before we let you go?
As usual, Sean for hosting this and yourself for broadcasting it.
No, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much from us at Trackside. No, you get yourself gone, mate, and we shall catch you next week.
Thank you very much.
There you go. Always good to speak to Craig. They're returning this season. Shall we speak to another one who is returning from last season, Jimmy? Shall we get our P3 for the elites in here and speak to a Mr. Harry Price?
Yeah, let's bring him in here and give him a little chat.
There you go, Harry. Good evening, first of all. Congratulations on the P3. Pretty simple race, it seemed out there for you. Sat P3 pretty much the majority of that and didn't seem to have much trouble.
Yeah, no, it was. I did feel like I was going around on my own, quite a bit of it. Did choose to change tyres. It was very 50-50 on it. But glad I did, if I'm honest. And yeah, I think I'm not taking anything away from the guys at front, but like I would needed draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
and I
was
just,
hard. You needed them to fight, really,
yeah,
to catch up with them, really, to have a bit of a chance. And it's just got a little bit too far ahead, I think.
it did. Yeah, they just. I think I was a bit too conservative at the start. Just being a bit too cautious, I think, and then they got away. And by the time I'd settled down, they'd gone. So,
There you go.
but
It's
then
just how it
now
works sometimes.
that's it. I'm happy with it. Though I'll take P3.
There you go. And there's plenty of races, mate, left this season to get it done with. You've got 7 more. So, look, we
Yeah.
don't like to keep you for too long. So, anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to before you go?
Just thanks, Sean, for putting the league on, and thank you for you guys for doing the broadcast again.
No, you are more than welcome, mate. Look, you have a good one, and we shall catch you next week.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
There you go. See you later, mate. Good to speak to the podiums on the elite there, Jim. I'm sure you'll agree.
Yep, yeah, very nice speaking to those guys. I mean, very quick drivers all around. But speaking of quick drivers, should we bring in Otto and have a little chat with him next?
Yeah, Otto Karras, P1 in our pros for this evening. So, first of all, Otto, welcome to the Tanzo Racing Group. Welcome to Trackside. How did you find your first race?
Thank you. It was tough, I think.
No,
It
you
was
seem to do quite well.
Yeah, I did quite well, but I wasn't really happy with how the car felt, and the temperatures were a bit higher than I expected, the track temperatures. But I managed. It was all right. But I think my teammate would have won the race, but he made a small mistake on the pit lane and didn't put enough fuel. So
Oh, was that Quentin? Quentin, your
yeah,
teammate's called
yeah,
Quentin, aren't you? Yeah, so Quentin
yeah,
didn't put enough fuel in.
yeah. So he had to pit again. I think he would have beat me. He had a pace advantage, I think, after he got past the little bit slower elite car at the beginning.
No, that's fair enough. We did wonder what was going on with him because you and him were both absolutely pacing it out there in front, mixing it up with the elites, and then he just seemed to drop off, and it obviously gave you P1. But no, not to take that away from you, mate. You had an absolute brilliant drive out there. Great debut race for you this evening.
Yeah, I was quite happy. Yeah, thank you.
No, well done, my mate. Well done on the P1. Look, before we let you go, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Yeah, I want to thank Quentin Klumpert, I guess, and the rest of the team who got me into like really sim racing more seriously. So that's nice.
No, good to hear, mate. Good to hear. Look, we're gonna let you go, mate, and we'll catch up with you next week. All right.
All right. Thank you. Have a nice evening. Bye bye.
Have a good evening, mate. There you go. Good to get a voice to Otto there, mate. We'll never know. We might be speaking to him again next week. We'll have to see how he gets on there, Jimmy.
Yep. Shall we bring it in P2 in
Yeah,
the pro division as well? Let's speak to Curtis, see how he's doing.
yeah. Another debutant for the Tanzo Racing Group this season. P2 in his first race. And Curtis, I must say so as well. You gave us some great racing out there, mate. You were real interesting to watch. But good evening. How you doing?
I am stressed, to say the least.
Stressed, is that the word that you're going for tonight?
Yeah, I'll give it that. I got the timings wrong, so I didn't manage to qualify and started straight from the back of the pack.
Mate, you still done really, really well. You got yourself P2 in on the podiums there. And when we were on board with you during the race, absolute brilliant some moves that you made out there on some of the other guys. So no, great debut race tonight, mate. And P2 on the podium, you can't be too unhappy about that.
No, I'm very happy with it, but I'm looking forward to the next race. I get the qualifying right, see what we can do from there.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And we look forward to seeing you on the next race. Look, we don't like to keep you guys for too long. So anyone you'd like to say thank you to or give a shout out to before we let you go?
I'll put a shout out to my team, Dibner Heritage Motorworks, and my brother Callum, my team, smashing it out in the 12 hours coming up.
Brilliant. Well, good luck to him. Good luck to him in the 12 hours. And look, mate, we'll catch up with you next week. Great driving. Congratulations again on the P2 this week.
Thank you very much, guys.
There you go, Jimmy. Shall we bring in a familiar face, our P3 in the pro? Shall we get a Mr. Matt Massey in here?
Yeah, let's bring him in and see how he's getting on as well.
There we go. Sorry, is Matt Massey in here? I
I
don't think
don't
he is,
see him in the
actually.
waiting room. Oh, might have to bring someone
No,
else in to.
no, I think I saw him, but I think he's gone. I'll tell you what, let's drop down. Let's go to the AMs and let's go speak to Joseph Greathouse, shall we? Another debut driver for us this season in the Tanzo Racing Group. Joseph, good evening, first of all, and congratulations on P1 in your debut race. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. This race was really fun with y'all for first
No, mate,
race.
you did really, really well out there, and you held your own. You weren't mixing with the rest of the AMs. You were sitting right up there with the pros and the elites, mate. How did you find it?
I'm really comfortable at Spa. I drove her quite a bit, and I love driving the vet there.
There you go. That shows why you were quite so dominant out there tonight. We'll have to see how you get on next week then. But look, mate, great race tonight, and congratulations again on that P1, mate. Anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to before we let you go?
My friends and family that support me, and thank you all for being here while we race this beautiful race.
Not a problem. Thank you for joining us this season, mate, and we shall catch up with you next week. All right, you have a good week.
Yep, you too.
See you later, mate. There you go. Another debut driver for us there, James. But we're going to bring in James Vardigan, who finished in P2. And we've spoken to Vardigan a few times now. James, good evening. Congratulations on the P2, mate. Some great driving out there tonight. How did you find it?
Yeah, no, as you say, great start to the season. It's always a little bit dubious with, especially with obviously the amount of new people that joined for the season, which is great. But you never know what's going to happen. And thankfully, it was pretty incident free. It looked across the board.
No, there you go, mate. There was a couple of little spins here and there, but no one really. I don't think there really was any coming together from anyone apart from a little bit of trading paint, which you'd expect. It was just a great race all around to start the evening off, and yeah, P2, mate, overall on the first race of the season. Cannot be too happy about that, can you?
Oh, buzzing, especially with my fellow Upshift Esports teammate coming in P3 behind as well.
Well, we're going to
Yeah.
speak to him in just a moment, Simon, mate. But no, congratulations again on that P2. Anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
I'd like to thank Harry7 and Ryan Clark for providing me with 10 laps of entertainment to watch as I was just cruising behind. And James Moore, as always.
No, there you go, mate. I think I know what part you're on about, but no, it's always good. It's always good to speak to you, James, mate. Look, we'll catch up with you next week potentially. All right.
Cool. Cheers, guys.
All right. See you later, mate. See you later. There you go. Shall we get our P3 in the AMs in as well now, Jim?
Yeah, let's speak to James Moore and see how he's getting on.
There you go. Good evening. Is he with us? There you go. Good evening, James. P3 on the first race this evening. How did you find it, my mate?
That was very difficult, I will tell you.
That was a bit a difficult one for you tonight.
Yeah, I kind of feel as if the setup was a bit all over the shot. So
Okay.
towards the end, it got quite difficult. Let's just say I was trying to catch Chris Hines with not a lot of rubber left.
Okay. No, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Well, it's only race one. You've still got 7 races left this season to sort it all out, to get some points under your belt. But you still finished P3 overall, mate. In the end, you can't be shying away at that one. It's a great result to start the season off.
I certainly can't grumble about it. It's a great result for both me and James Vardigan's, part of the team setup. So it's a shame that we don't have championship points yet. Hint, hint, Sean. But no, it's a great result for both of us. So I'm really happy with that. We just need
No.
to push on with it and see how we get on for the rest of the season.
Well, no, there you go, mate. Like I said, you've got 7 races left to do it, and we've got a great one coming up for you next week. So we'll let you go now, my mate. So you have a good one, and we shall speak to you then.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
See you later.
Cheers.
Jimmy, I'm sure you'll agree that was a great start to the season that we had tonight here in Spa.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal first race of the season. I mean, we were at the edge of our seats towards the end of that race. It was some great battles out on track, great driving from everyone. Nice to see some new faces, nice to see some old faces, and yeah, what a great start to the season. But sadly, that is checkered flag from us here at Spa and checkered flag from us here at Trackside Broadcasting. Thank you again, everyone at home, for watching and supporting your favourite drivers out on track. Gaz, have you got any final words?
Yeah, Jim, it just feels so good to be back, doesn't it? And we've had some great racing to start us off the season here in Spa. Look, same as you, I just want to thank everybody at home for watching. I want to thank all the drivers out there for racing along with us this evening. And thanks again to our sponsors, Spectra Racing, Clark St. James Motorsport, and Murby Goes. And again to the Tanzo Racing Group for hosting us. As always, everybody, I hope you have an absolutely great week. Remember, you can see us next Sunday for the Toyotas, but join us again next Monday at exactly the same time, 7:45 for race 2. I said it was an iconic one. We're headed to Italy and we're headed to Monza, so it should be a really, really good race. But thanks again, everybody, for joining us, and good night from us here at Trackside.
You feel so long.